Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something really cool, unsupervised learning. This is the part of machine learning where we basically tell an AI, go be a detective, find whatever interesting patterns you can in this data, all by yourself.
So that brings us to the big, kind of mind-bending question, right? How can a machine possibly learn anything if we don't teach it the answers? I mean, how does it learn without a teacher? It sounds almost like magic, but that's exactly the idea we're going to unpack today.
So what are we really talking about here? Well, unsupervised learning is a type of AI that gets handed a massive pile of what we call unlabeled data. Its whole job is to just dive in and figure out what's going on, to find those hidden patterns, those secret relationships completely on its own. There's no answer key, no cheat sheet. It's pure, raw discovery.
Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, let's use a simple analogy. Think of the algorithm as a student, but, well, a really unique kind of student. Imagine you just dump a huge, mixed-up box of animal photos in front of this algorithm. It has no idea what an elephant or a cow is. It's never been told those words. But what it can do is look. It can see, hey, this group of pictures has animals with long trunks, and this pile over here, they all have humps, and these guys all have spots. So it starts sorting them into piles based on those visual clues. That is the absolute heart of unsupervised learning. It's finding the hidden structure all by itself without ever being given the names or the labels.
So, this really powerful way of learning has, let's call them, 3 core talents. You could even think of them as its superpowers. These are the main ways it actually goes about finding all those hidden patterns we've been talking about.
All right, first up, we have a talent we can call the group organizer. And honestly, its name says it all. This one is all about creating some kind of order from total chaos.
Now, the techie term for this is clustering, and it's exactly what that algorithm was doing with our animal photos, right? It was grouping the data into these little clusters based on what they had in common. The whole point is to just find the natural groupings that are already hiding there in the data.
And you know what? This is happening all around you, all the time. It's how your favorite streaming service decides you might like a show, because it's grouped you with millions of other people who have similar tastes. It's how news websites automatically bundle related articles together. Heck, it's even how your phone sorts through your camera roll and groups all the pictures of the same person. It's all just about finding the who or the what that naturally belongs together.
Okay, let's move on to talent number 2. I like to call this one the connection detective. Now, this one's a little different. It's not about grouping things into piles, it's about finding the hidden relationships between different things. Yep, the classic example here comes from the grocery store. By looking at millions and millions of receipts, these algorithms started to notice a pattern. Hey, when people buy milk, they also tend to buy bread. This technique is called association rule learning, and it is exactly why you'll find chips right next to the soda. Stores use it to figure out what to put next to what to get us to buy more.
And that brings us to our final talent, the simplifier. And let me tell you, in a world that is just drowning in data, this might be one of the most important skills of them all. It's all about cutting through the noise.
So the fancy term for this is dimensionality reduction. But here's what it means. Imagine you have a giant spreadsheet with hundreds, maybe thousands of columns. Each column is a dimension. That is just way too much to make sense of. What this process does is intelligently trim the fat. It gets rid of the stuff that doesn't matter as much so that the really important, meaningful patterns can finally pop out.
So, for example, instead of trying to look at 100 different things about a student, height, weight, grades, attendance, everything, an algorithm can boil all of that down to just 2 really important features. That's the whole point, to take something incredibly complex and make it simple enough that we can actually look at it, maybe even visualize it on a chart, and understand what's going on.
All right, so those are the 3 core talents, the group organizer, the connection detective, and the simplifier. And what's crazy is you're probably interacting with all of them every single day without even realizing it.
You know when a music service recommends a new song or a streaming platform suggests a movie you end up loving? That's unsupervised learning in action. It's clustering your taste with millions of other people. And what about when you see an ad that feels just a little too specific to you? Yep, that's customer segmentation. It's grouped you with shoppers who buy similar things.
But it's not just about selling you stuff. It also keeps you safe. Think about it. When your bank flags a really weird transaction on your card, that's an algorithm that's just detected an anomaly. It's a pattern that doesn't match your usual behavior. And it even shapes your social life by figuring out which communities and trends are bubbling up on your social media feeds. But of course, it's not all perfect. It's not magic.
This really powerful way of learning comes with its own unique set of tricky problems.
See, this freedom to learn on its own can be a double-edged sword. For one, if the data you feed it is messy or has a bunch of weird outliers, the algorithm can get totally confused and find patterns that are just wrong. Second, remember how there's no answer key? Well, that makes it really hard to know if the results are actually any good. How do you grade the test if you don't have the answers? And finally, and this is a big one, sometimes the algorithm finds a pattern that is technically real, but it has zero real-world meaning. It leaves you scratching your head wondering, is this a huge breakthrough or just a random coincidence?
So, keeping all that in mind, the superpowers, where we see it every day, and the challenges, let's just zoom out for a second. Let's talk about why this all really matters.
So after all of that, what's the big takeaway? What's the one thing you should really walk away with?
It's this. Unsupervised learning is, at its heart, our tool for pure exploration. We live in a world with these vast, massive oceans of unlabeled data. And this is our compass. It's how we navigate that ocean to discover the unknown, to find those hidden continents of insight that no person has ever laid eyes on before.
And that really changes how you think about it, doesn't it? See, a lot of AI is about predicting something we already know how to predict. But this is all about discovery. It lets us look at a giant pile of data and ask the most important questions. What is actually going on in here? What amazing patterns am I completely missing?
And that really leaves us with one final fascinating question to think about. With this incredible tool for discovery now at our fingertips, what truly important patterns are still out there, just hiding in the data, waiting for us to find them?